My never say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. See them yopo.
Hello, lovely viewers. Welcome back to PENDREAM TV, your number one source for fearless political news and hard truth in Ghana. Today, Alhassan Suhuyini makes a shocking revelation, exposing how many Ghanaians have fallen too low, blindly believing every so-called spiritual prophecy without using their gumption. Stay tuned, because this discussion will shake the very foundation of how we see prophets and their influence in our society. Stay tuned. Do subscribe for more videos as well. Thank you.
To complete our panel for today, you are a big part of the show. Very important. Do share your thoughts with us on social media handles. You can also share using the number that we are displaying on the screen, 0559 919 802. Well, let's start off with the very first topic of discussion, a review of prophecies. But this is the first time since I'm seeing Suhuyini. I've heard him on other platforms. In fact, he spoke to Baby Mention the Virus on the night train. That was the very first interview he did, I believe.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, start with it for us on the first topic.
Well, let me say good morning to you, Sana, and good morning to Uncle Kwesi. Good morning to Mujib, and to our viewers out there. It's always a pleasure to be on this platform. I wish we were discussing some other, if you like, elevating issues and not these depressing ones that we are having to confront with this morning. But, well, it's part of life, isn't it? You're right. I mean, when the incident first happened, and I went to Comrade Mutale's residence, because of how sudden and shocking it was understandable that the structure was not very clear. And I thought to myself that Honorable Comrade Mutala would have done it for anybody. And so I had to step in to act in the interim as spokesperson of the family, as you have indicated, and also help organize a structure that facilitated the reception of guests who came to mourn with the family. I did that together with some other distant family members and some of our brothers and sisters who also came around. And so for the first day, the second day, I was more regular in the house. But when the siblings settled and perhaps began to accept the loss, some of us had to begin to retreat into the shadows so that we could provide the necessary support that was needed throughout the process. It's still very shocking and unbelievable, and I can understand that they are gone, but I still find it difficult to accept it. And maybe the only thing I am happy about is the way we have come together as a nation in the last couple of days to collectively mourn them, their passing, and to give them what you can call a befitting send-off. I don't know how a send-off like this can be befitting, but under the circumstance, that is the word that comes to mind. I think that His Excellency the President deserves a lot of commendation for the clarity of thought and guidance that he has provided in the midst of all this. I mean, many of us have connections with some of the people involved in this accident, but somehow he had connections with all the 8, no doubt about that. So even from where I sit, I will say that I had direct, relationships with about 3 of them. But even with the 3, in the last couple of days, there are times I feel so gloomy. I feel so down, and I don't even know which of the three I'm mourning. I just feel that weight of the loss on me. So I can just imagine how it is for His Excellency the President, who had direct relationship with these three, and who also had the responsibility of sending these people on the mission that they went to as Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. So, but to carry all of that and still be able to lead the nation, to organize the events that we have all either witnessed or participated in, I think it takes a special grace, to be able to do that. And I think that commending him is not misplaced at all. We pray that the good Lord will continue to guide his steps and give him that clarity of mind and serenity of thought to continue to lead this nation into better days, because obviously the last couple of days haven't been the best at all. Senna, I also want to extend my heartfelt condolences to the families of the bereaved, especially the immediate families of the bereaved. No amount of words at this point in time can console them. We can only pray that God, in His infinite wisdom, will lift the burden of their shoulders and clad them with His mercy and grace. Otherwise, even for us who lose loved ones through natural causes, especially in the midst of the loss, words seem inadequate to console you. I have buried my dad, I've buried my mom, and so I know how it feels like. Sometimes even the words provoke you. They provoke questions that you want to ask. The malam is speaking to you, the pastor is speaking to you, and you want to ask very provocative questions. So I can imagine how worse it is for these family members of our departed compatriots, and I can only pray that God will help them heal and guide them to live a life that is worthy of the sacrifices that these brothers of ours led until their demise. Again, I think we need to commend the security agencies and all those who took part in the organization of the events, especially the Deputy Chief of Staff, Stan Dogbe. I salute him. I mean, I was that close from the first day, maybe till yesterday, and I saw moments of his vulnerability when even in the midst of organizing these events, he broke down uncontrollably. But after those few moments of breaking down, he's able to gather himself. In fact, I remember the first day he had to put the press conference together for the Chief of Staff to confirm the news. And after that has been an integral part of the events that we have seen telecast live on our TV stations. And he did all of that with tears in his heart and with a broken spirit and heart. And I think he deserves commendation for being able to discharge that responsibility even as a broken man. And I just pray that God will heal him too. So now we are people of faith. We can't run away from that. And I have on different occasions said that perhaps if we lived as our faith taught us, we would be better than we are as a country. But unfortunately, we claim to be people of faith, but by practice, what I have come to personally notice is that we are more spiritual than we are faith abiding. I mean, what is faith? It's about the belief in a supernatural being, and it's about, good and bad and judgment, either here or the hereafter. I mean, basically, simply put, that's how I consider faith. But what is spirituality? It's about believing in it may be something that is not scientific, but real. And perhaps it's also because of our background as, if you like, idol worshippers before Christianity or Islam was introduced to us. We had a concept of a God that was spiritual in nature. And so you had the anger of the God expressed in thunder and lightning, and striking people dead and making sure that we get good harvests, bumper harvests. That notion and that concept of faith, which in my view is wrong, is the reason perhaps why we are not taking the useful benefits of faith. I'll give you an example. If you look at the developed countries, they are not so much into church going, or if they are Muslims, 5-time daily prayers. But they are faith-based people as well. In our religions, whether Christianity or Islam, the 10 commandments are universal. Let's ask ourselves, how many of us in our faith let the 10 commandments guide us? You shall not cheat, about honesty, about sincerity, about love for neighbor, about how many of us actually in our practice of our faith think about the 10 commandments? But in the developed countries, they may not be church going, but they carry these values, they live these values of honesty, of integrity, to some extent, not all of it, but to a larger extent compared to us. They carry these values in their relationships. I mean, how many of us really get up in the morning and bake a cake for our neighbors, even though we are faith-believing people? It is considered cultural to introduce yourself to your neighbors in other jurisdictions that we consider, developed. But it is actually religious, because that's love for neighborliness. So it is because we believe in spirits and not guided by the faith that we should be guided by. That is why perhaps we are not getting the full benefits of these religions. I mean, you listen to people pray and they are striking their enemies dead, and with all kinds of accolades, and they actually want it manifest so that they can glorify the God that they worship. It is the reason why we tend to believe some of these prophecies, because we are afraid. But faith should not let you entertain fear. Faith should ground you. But because we don't truly practice what our faith teaches us, we are afraid. And people exploit the fear that we have. We are afraid of the spirits, and that you will be attacked by a spirit. I mean, I'm going to give this example without saying that everyone that you find in the church today is fake. But I was asked by a senior man some time ago if we have ever wondered why we no longer see the Ajana 1s, Ajana 2s around circles. I mean, the confident tricksters that we grew up knowing, they were in particular areas, and if you were sent in, to those areas by your parents, you were cautioned, seriously, because you could easily be scammed. It's not that common anymore. And the question he asked was, have we ever wondered where they are now? Perhaps many of them have found our vulnerability in our religions, and they are exploiting it. They are either imams, advertising on TV, or they are prophets advertising on radio and TV, and making all sort of claims for attention. But like I said, we are faith-believing people. So truly, you cannot deny the fact that we have men of God. We have people who have dedicated themselves to the study of the religions that we adhere to. And because of that dedication, they appear closer to the God that we worship and make interventions on behalf of all of us. That is a fact that I believe in. But if you observe critically, you realize that those people who do this genuinely are not loud about their roles. They are not attention seekers. They simply feel they are called by God to do or perform this responsibility on behalf of mankind. But there are others who are out there just attention seeking, just exploiting the fear that we know that our spirit-based self entertains in our daily lives. And as a country, we need to be careful about how we entertain and encourage that kind of practice. We need to be careful how we entertain and encourage that kind of practice. I feel that so many of us, especially in decision making, allow this fear to disable us from rational thinking. I mean, there's a reason why they say the voice of the people is the voice of God. In the Bani, we also say that to wit, if a soothsayer tells you or foretells the future, your future, you should also examine yourself and examine what is said to you. That is to say that it is not always what the soothsayer says that is wholly true. You need to examine what the soothsayer has said. They say if the soothsayer foretells your future, examine yourself and examine what is told you. That is encouraging rational thinking. But many of us have become slaves to these prophecies and prophets. I know that the ways of God can sometimes be very irrational. But like I said, the voice of God is the voice of the people. I mean, the voice of the people is the voice of God. Is an indication that there is still some rationality that you must attach to the voice that is said to be coming from God. And I think that it is more about us. And so now, I got personally alarmed. A couple of months ago, that was before the general elections, I remember speaking with friends then who were very confident that the NDC was going to win the elections because of sentiments around. And I use that example to always say that not until the last ballot is counted and declared, it is not Uhuru yet. Senna, we're in this country where a woman, I'm told she's now behind bars, advertised on TV for so many years as a fetish priest or priestess. Fetish, doing all sorts of magic on TV and showcasing so-called help that she was offering to patrons and clients. And then she got arrested, detained. And when she came out, I think after a day or two, she claimed to have encountered Christ. And the next weekend opened the church. Senna, I was shocked, and the church was full. I was shocked at our level of spiritual gullibility as a country. And then that's why I started saying that, look, the Ghanaian is so gullible that we should not think that the MPP has so much failed that they will not change their mind again and vote for them in the next moment. I kept using that example to showcase our gullibility as a people. The church was full. And as a result, she duped people. And I had no single tear for any of the people who were eventually duped. And so I am unhappy that she got imprisoned as a result of that. Whoever got duped by her deserved it. But it is a clear example of who we are as a people when it comes to matters of the spirit and its interpretation and its projections and proclamations. We simply do not use, Uncle Kwesi will say, our gumptions. But the head is not just for carrying of logs alone. And even if you are a faith-based person, when these revelations come to you, you should also be able to find remedies in the faith that you believe in. And if there are no remedies because of your faith, like we Muslims believe in, because of your faith, you must understand that then is destiny. If you are a faith-believing person, God in the faith, whatever faith that you believe in, provide remedies for revelations because it is a part of the faith that you worship. Whether a Muslim or a Christian, there are revelations, yes. But there are remedies. And you must understand that the remedies are also at the mercy of the Lord, of your Maker. And so, the fact that you engage in what is prescribed as a remedy does not totally guarantee that what is revealed will not happen. And you have to accept it. That's why the Imams will tell you that every Muslim, every day, every time, expects death. Because the only thing they say that is constant in life is death. Some will add taxes, but it's actually death. We will all die. We will all be forgotten. In about 100 years from now, Senna, don't be surprised that the 5 of us here will not even be remembered. If you are lucky, you'll be in textbooks. That's all. So it is a constant. How it happens, when it happens, where it happens, no one knows. But if you are a faith-believing person, you will know that man cannot prevent it. When God says yes, we say it. Who can say no? Man can't prevent it. But here we are as a people. We allow our belief in the spirits to numb our thoughts, to numb our rationality. And so people have a field day. Some people have a field day exploiting our belief in the spirit and the fear that it creates in us. And so sometimes I don't really blame the people who come out with these prophecies. I blame us for the way we interpret and embrace them. It is very difficult, for example, for now to convince somebody who is grieving that something couldn't have been done about what happened, especially if they saw or if they have come to see these prophecies. It's very difficult. Human as we are. Yeah, human as we are. Human as we are. Even without these prophecies, we are all already asking ourselves, why? Why didn't Murtala just go with commercial as he had planned, I'm told? Why didn't Limuna go to that other program at Prime as he was suggested to, I'm told? Why didn't Abuaji go the night before as he had indicated? Are you getting it? Human as we are, even though we are not as close as the family members are, we are asking ourselves these questions. So when you see a pastor claiming that it was predicted, it is very difficult to convince the person that nothing could have been done about it. But inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. For us Muslims, to him we come from, and to him is our return. And we are told that the hour, the time, the day is not known by anybody. I mean, why? There were some people who were supposed to be on the flight who didn't go. There were others who were not supposed to be on the flight who did. For a faith-believing person like myself, that is where you give it to Allah and you accept that, as difficult as it is, as painful as it is, it's their destiny. I know. If you look at somebody like Dr. Mani Boama, he doesn't deserve to die that way. That's my personal feeling. That's my thinking. Such a fine gentleman. He deserves to die in his bed.
You are finished, you are now questioning.
Are you getting it? I'm just saying. It deserves to die in his bed. If you look at Murtala, the same. I mean, full of life. Vibrant. Loving. He doesn't deserve this kind of carnage. But that's the human in me questioning. But my friend says all the time that God loves drama. God loves drama. And that's the God that we worship. And we are told that we each have our destinies. Only he knows when and how we will go. May He have mercy on their souls, and may our end be glorifying of His name as well. But let us ask ourselves, let's question ourselves, just as much as we are questioning these prophecies and those who are also exploiting those prophecies. Let's question ourselves and question the foundation of our faith more than we are questioning those who are exploiting the fear that these prophecies induce in us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning to you, La. Yes, nice to have you.
Yeah. Long time.
Okay, I'll come to you shortly, but thank you. Thank you, I like it. There's Bedu Kwame who says, truly speaking, those claiming to receive prophecies, he says, are lies. The fact that your subconscious mind that was influenced by your thoughts, your feelings, and your behavior is not to be translated as God communicating with you. Unfortunately, religions are making things hard for us. There's also Dede who says, presidency to review prophecies. Is this government really serious? Why entertain and give credence to attention seekers? Open the doors to different kind of worms. Why is it always prophecies of doom? And then there's okay, let me go to Maula Kofi Koda, who says, in a world of commodified religion, there's a need to distinguish between men of God and men of gold. No man of God instrumentalizes fear in the name of prophecy, but men of gold do.
Thanks for watching PENDREAM TV. What do you think about Suhuyini's bold revelation? Have Ghanaians really fallen so low to blind prophecy? Share your thoughts at the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our latest updates. Until next time, keep questioning, keep thinking, and stay with PENDREAM TV, where the truth lives. Thank you and stay blessed.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.